All right, so this is a run through of North Carolina road map. Down here we have the key, and it gives us various symbols and what those symbols mean. It also gives us a scale. And so on this map, we know that 1 inch on the map represents 13 miles in the real world. Okay. We also have a smaller map here that tells us about the North Carolina river basins. So if you wanted to know what river basin you're in, you could find out. All right, and so then we have the general map. We have the major roads, some of the smaller roads, and so you can find your way around. All right, we also, like on a bigger map, you would have latitude and longitude. You have that on here as well. Might be a little hard to see, but you also have these coordinates. So for example, 1K would be right here. So in this box are certain things, and we can use that to help navigate the map. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. All right, down here we have the city index. And so what this does is if you want to go from Albemarle to Hickory, okay, you come down from Albemarle, you come over from Hickory, and those two are 79 miles apart. Okay, you could do the same thing with Smithfield and Goldsboro. You come down from Goldsboro, you come over from Smithfield, and so they're 23 miles apart. Okay. We have some tourist information here. Here's some information about how the roads are maintained. Here's a map of the Blue Ridge Parkway. That's a big tourist attraction as well. All right, over here we have the index of cities. And so I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit there. And so, for example, here we have, I believe that says Ruth. All right, Ruth, North Carolina is in D3. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out. And here's D. 1, 2, 3. So we come over and we come down, and somewhere in this square is Ruth. Now, I don't know how quickly I'm going to find it here, but I know, oh, there it is, right there, Ruth, North Carolina. Okay. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, so there's Ruth, North Carolina. All right, so that's the front side of the mountain. This is really good because if you know where you want to go but you don't know where it is, this will help you find the city. Okay? This is meant as a quick way of finding out how far it is from some of the more major cities of North Carolina. Okay? And all right, and one technique you can use for finding out how far something is down here we have different scales. And so, for example, this first one, okay, that's 0, that's 5, that's 10, that's 20, and that's 30. Okay, so I can go over here on the map and I can choose 2 points. Like there's Greenville, okay, and then I could be like, oh, well, I want to go to Wilson. Well, that's over 30 miles, but then I could put my pencil here and move this down, and that's 5. So it's about 35 miles from Greenville to Wilson. That's as the crow flies, so they say. That is a straight line. Obviously, if you follow this road, it's going to be a little bit more. Okay? Now we could check that probably. If we come down here, there's Greenville, and here's Wilson. All right, hopefully this is showing up in the frame. So we're going to come over. Wilson is next to the last, and there's Greenville. So we're going to come all the way down. Yep, 38 miles between Greenville and Wilson. All right, so there's a couple of ways of telling how far apart things are. On the back of the map, all right, we have park information, toll roads, websites that might be useful, ferry information, train information. We have a message from Bev Perdue, the governor, when this map was produced. We have some zoomed in maps of some of the more popular areas like Durham, Rocky Mounts, so forth and so on. Okay, so there's a lot of information on these maps. It's not just roads and stuff. Okay, some maps will even have information about state laws, like for example here, with rules of the road. So cell phones, traffic crashes, what should you do, seat belts, driving while impaired, so forth and so on. So these are all laws that, while a lot of states probably have laws similar to these, some states are different. Some states, they can pull you over for not wearing a seatbelt. North Carolina is like that. If a cop sees you not wearing a seatbelt, they can pull you over just for that. Other states, they cannot pull you over for a seatbelt. They pull you over for something else. And then if you're not wearing a seatbelt, they write you a seatbelt ticket. Okay? So yeah, that's a quick overview of maps.